Series title, Unnoticed, Season 1, When Feelings Stay Silent, Episode 1, title, The Window Seat in Commerce Block. It was the first Monday of the new semester, and the July rains hadn't spared the narrow lanes leading to St. Dominic's Junior College. Puddles shimmered under the overcast sky, uniforms were damp, and the morning announcements crackled over old speakers. Students from arts, commerce, and vocational streams hurried to their respective blocks, dodging raindrops and lecturers with equal urgency. Arman, a quiet boy from the arts stream, sat in the last row of room A204, his canvas bag soaked and his notebook curled at the edges. His eyes weren't on the blackboard. They never were, not since he saw her Arifa the first time 2 weeks ago. She belonged to the commerce stream. Her class was held in the yellow-painted block across the garden, uniform the same as his white shirt, navy tie, pleated skirt, but somehow, she wore it like it was made for her. Her hair always neatly braided, her posture straight, eyes sharp. She walked like she had somewhere important to be, even if it was just the second lecture. Armand saw her every day, at 9:15 a.m. sharp. When Commerce Block's first-floor windows opened for air, she always sat by the window, second seat from the left. Her desk was directly opposite his classroom, across the small courtyard. It became his morning ritual, pretend to jot notes while sneaking glances through the open window slats. Sometimes, she looked out, lost in thought. On rare days, she smiled at something her friend said. Those smiles carried him through the day, but she didn't know he existed. "You're gonna break your neck one day staring like that," said Imran, Armand's only real friend in college. He was in the same stream, same class, and had a big mouth powered by a big heart. Armand sighed. "She sits near the window again today." "Yeah, like every day," Imran said, rolling his eyes. "You could just say hi, you know. Revolutionary idea." "I don't even know what I'd say," Imran paused. "Try. Hi, I'm Arman. You're Ria, right? I see you around sometimes. Not that hard." But for Arman it was. The Commerce Block felt like another world. Art students rarely mingled with them unless it was a college event or inter-stream project. That too, the most interaction came during cultural competitions, dance, poetry, drama. And the only time uniforms were replaced by traditional clothes or costumes. Otherwise, the streams remained as separated as the buildings themselves. Imran, sensing Armand's hesitation, decided to take matters into his own hands. "Look," he said, the next day at lunch. "There's a poetry competition coming up next month, Interstream. You've got a shot. You write poems all the time. Use it." Armand shook his head. "She won't even be there." "She might. She's in commerce. They send a bunch of people every time. Just sign up. Read something that'll get her attention." The thought settled into Armand's brain like mist, uncertain, but impossible to ignore. That evening, in the small desk lamp glow of his hostel room, Armand flipped open his brown notebook. The pages were filled with quiet thoughts about Ria. But one page was different, a clean one. On it, he wrote a poem titled, "The Girl Who Owned the Morning Light." The poem wasn't obvious. It didn't mention names, but every word was a whisper from his heart to hers, masked in metaphors and wrapped in longing. He signed the form for the competition the next day. Over the following weeks, his nerves grew with each rehearsal. Ria continued her windowside routine, unaware of the storm brewing just across the courtyard. Armand sometimes caught himself imagining absurd possibilities. What if she recognized herself in the poem? What if she smiled at him afterward? Maybe asked if they had a mutual friend? Imran, meanwhile, remained the voice of confidence. "Bro, you got this. Just don't faint on stage." The day of the poetry event arrived. College auditorium, full crowd, different streams, different uniforms, but for once, united under a single roof. Armand scanned the crowd as he waited backstage. And there she was. Ria, seated in the middle row with two girls beside her, casually flipping through the event brochure. His heart raced. When his name was called, everything became a blur. He stepped onto the stage, his palms damp, throat dry. The spotlight made it hard to see anyone's face clearly, but he remembered the words. He began. "She sits where the sun first kisses the world, second from the edge. a breath in the hush. Eyes like stories sealed in glass, a laugh I've never heard, but trust. Each line landed softer than the last. He didn't shake, he didn't fumble. He poured every silent moment into that mice fairy glance. Every unspoken word, every morning ritual spent watching the Commerce Block window. When he finished, polite applause filled the hall. No cheers, no standing ovation, just respectful clapping. He walked off stage, heart pounding. Backstage, Imran grinned and gave him a high five. You did great, man. Now all we need is her reaction. But there was none. After the event, Arman lingered near the exit, notebook clutched tightly in hand. He saw her pass. She was laughing at something, her friend said, brochure folded in hand, already discussing the next event. She walked right past him. No pause, no glance, no flicker of recognition. Arman stood there, smile slowly fading. Later that evening, back in the hostel, Imran tried to lighten the mood. Maybe she didn't get it. Maybe she thought it was just a poem. Maybe it was, Arman replied softly, placing his notebook back in the drawer, but he knew. To her, he was just another boy in uniform, one face in 1,000, a name she'd probably never hear again. But to him, she was the girl who made him write poetry, the girl who unknowingly taught him what it meant to feel something.